Welcome to another episode of Focus on Taekwondo. I'm the host and founder of this podcast, Mark Russell. Have you ever wondered what it takes to get your black belt, win a tournament, perfect a poomsae, or defend yourself in the street? Well, here at Focus on Taekwondo, we intend to help you find those answers. We interview top professionals in their field, including masters, athletes and coaches, to give you an insight into what it takes for you to be the best you can be at this modern day, ancient global martial art and sport that is Taekwondo. Today's interview is with Portuguese Taekwondo Olympian Rui Braganca. We interviewed Rui whilst he was in Spain competing at the Spanish Open. He went up a division to minus 63 and he came home with a bronze medal, so I'd like to congratulate him on his achievement. So without further ado, we'll get down to the interview. I hope you enjoy. Today's interview is with Rui Braganca. So hello Rui, how are you?
Good, and you?
Yeah, good, very, very good. So thanks for coming on the podcast. You're currently in Spain for the Spanish Open. So you're competing tomorrow.
Yeah, it appears so.
Okay. All our listeners wish you all the best, I'm sure. So,
thank you very much.
how is the competition looking? Do you know how many are in your division? Anyone you can't wait to fight against?
I haven't quite looked at it, but I know the Spanish Open is always a strong open, so always strong competition. So I know that there will be plenty of fights tomorrow and all of them good.
Yeah, good. Excellent. So you're looking forward to it?
Yeah, I look forward to it, and especially to learn. For me, this will be like a training competition. So my main focus is next week in Agadir for the President's Cup, African President's Cup. So I want to learn a lot tomorrow. So that then I can go to 20 points in Agadir.
Okay, cool. So you're ranked 10th in the Olympic ranking and 7th in the world, both for minus 58 kilograms. It must be tough now to stay at the top 10. It must mean lots of travelling.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So before it was 3 weeks traveling in a row. Now it will be 2 weeks, then 2 training camps, and I think all of my year will be like that. So it's quite hard.
Yeah. Okay, so the world and Olympic number 1 in your weight division is Tae-Hoon Kim from Korea. He's lots of points ahead of everyone else. You haven't fought Tae-Hoon Kim yet, have you?
Yeah, no, I fought him in the Grand Prix in 2015. I lost with, let's say, a not so clear headshot. I was winning, and then he won with a headshot, but it wasn't that clear. But yeah, I fought well. It was a tight match, but he won.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. So you've also been world number 1 as well before. So when was that?
I think that was around mid 2014, somewhere around that. Okay. So it has been a long time, but I would like to be there again.
Yeah, you will be. I mean, just even to be world number 1 it's a great achievement as well, you know. So I think, you can do it again, I'm sure.
I hope so. I'm working for it.
You have the biggest smile of any Taekwondo player I know. Always happy and cheerful. I take it you're a very positive person. Do you think this is the reason why you're so successful?
Yeah, I think so. I try to look at the solutions and not at the problems. And even when things don't go so well, I prefer to keep a smile on my face because at least I start with a smile. And things tend to go well. So, yeah, I tend to smile a lot. And I try to find reasons to smile. So that's why things have been going well for me, I think.
Yeah, it's a good way to be. I think there's always positive and there's always happiness in there. So you just have to search hard sometimes.
Yeah, you can always look at the glass and say it's half full and not half empty.
Exactly. Good. Yeah. So how is your training structured? Do you train every day? And what kind of training do you do?
I train every day, twice a day, but then it depends if we are close to some competition, if we are in a part of the training where we can put lots of work. So I tend to do also some gym because it's hard to to do everything at once. But yeah, I try to divide my time between the gym and the taekwondo sessions and the tactical sessions and all of that.
Yeah, okay. So most national team players, they travel obviously with physios, doctor, video analysis guys, etc. Do you have access to any of these tools or skills?
No. We are. Portugal is still a little country, and we are trying to evolve. For example, for the European, we've talked to a friend that he's a physio, and he has agreed to come with us. But okay, we will pay for the Olympic Committee, will pay for his expenses, but still, he will be out of work for those 5 days, and it's not so easy. So most of the competitions we come alone. We've come a long way from where we've started. In 2014, I would be traveling just me and Nuno fighting, not even having a coach. I would be his coach, he would be my coach. So we've come a long way, and I think that on the next few years we will arrive there. But of course, it helps a lot. If you have an injury, if you have something, you always have someone there to back you up. So it's really good.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad you're getting a physio this time. Yeah, it's good. So you talked about Portugal there. How was life growing up in Portugal? At what age did you decide to try Taekwondo? Can you tell us a bit about that time?
I tried Taekwondo at 13. My parents were going to a gym that was near my house, and basically they said, "Okay, we are going. Your sister is going, so you have to go too." I couldn't lift any weights because I was only 13 at the time. The kickboxing class was already too advanced, so the only thing that was left was Taekwondo. I didn't even knew it, but I gave it a shot. First few trainings they were doing like exams and pumse, and I didn't like it that much. But I went home and I said, "Dad, I don't like that." And he said, "Look, you have the whole month, so you will go for it. You will try this month, and then if you don't want it, okay, you can let it go." And then after the exams, we started to hit the pads and start to do a little bit of combat, and then I got to where I am right now.
Okay, that's cool. So how was your life growing up in Portugal anyway? Is it a good area you live in? And
yeah, it was good. I live in a small city. It's called Guimarães. I lived 15 minutes walking from where I studied, 5 minutes walking from where I train, and in the beginning everything was really easy. Then we started to train 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Then the traveling started. Then we had to decide where to go for the university, and then things got a little bit messy, but at the same time I already knew what I wanted. So I chose the University of Minho because they had already supported me, and they told me like, "Okay, you can come and we will help you with your studies and help you being a top Taekwondo athlete without losing your studies." So I basically decided what university I was going to study before I chose the course that I was going to study. And then in 2009 I entered medicine. The university said, "Okay, here you go. You can stay at the residence. The residence. We will give you the keys to the venue, everything. You can go to the gym anytime you want." So basically, I started to study medicine, train at 6 a.m., at 6 p.m. again. During the day, I would be studying. Then all of the traveling started, always flying low cost, staying in hostels. So that part was a little bit more complicated, but it was a lot more fun also.
Yeah, good, excellent. So as you mentioned a little while ago, that your main profession is a medical doctor, but you're competing against full-time paid athletes. Is it getting harder to do both?
Yeah, right now I had to put a little bit of medicine on hold. I'm doing a post-graduation in sports medicine because I finished, so I would have to go to a hospital and start to work, and I can't be doing a 40 or 60 hour week job. I can't be working 24 hours and then going to training, or doing nights and then be training at 8 a.m. and I couldn't be working on a Thursday to then go and fight on a Saturday. So I had to put that a little bit on hold to try and be in Tokyo and do the best that I can there.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I understand, yeah. Earlier on you mentioned Nuno and Hugo as well. When did you first meet Nuno Costa and Hugo Serrao?
Hugo Serrão e Nuno Costa.
Okay, yeah, okay.
The Portuguese names.
My Portuguese is terrible.
Don't worry. I met them the first day that I went to train Taekwondo. I didn't know them before.
Oh, okay.
And from then until September 2017, we were always together. Now my new coach is Elia Torrentegi.
Okay.
So
I won't try to say that word. Okay, thank you. So you've participated in one Olympics already, Rio 2016. How was Rio and the experience of the Olympics? Which part did you enjoy the most?
I've got to say that the time that the curtain opened before we entered the ring was everything was flying inside of me. And then when the curtain opened and I saw my girlfriend, I saw my parents, I saw my friends, they had traveled all the way from Portugal to Rio to see me, and there was just an awesome feeling, and maybe one of the best feelings that I will ever experience in my life.
Yeah, great. Yeah. The second time I'm sure will be just as good in Tokyo.
I hope so. I hope it will be even better.
So obviously Tokyo 2020, it is in your sights.
It's the main goal.
So what do you personally feel it will take for you to become the Olympic champion at Taekwondo in minus 58 kilograms in 2020?
Work hard, because everybody is working really hard. Like you were saying, now I'm fighting against players that are just living off Taekwondo. They don't have to worry with anything. Everybody or their coach, they just tell them, okay, be here at this time when you will train, and when you get out, it's okay, we have the flights for you, you have everything. So I think that I will really have to keep my focus and train really hard, study myself, and learn how can I get to Tokyo and be my best self on that day.
Yeah, okay. And keep smiling. Okay. Looking back at your achievements, some of these include gold at the European Games in Baku in 2015, silver at the World Championships, and also gold at the European Championships. Where is your next competition after this one?
After this one, Agadir, the President's Cup. Mm-hmm. And after that, again, the European.
The European's your main competition this year?
This year, I wouldn't say this year, but for now it is. Because this year you still have 4 Grand Prix, then you have the Grand Prix final, you also have the Grand Slam. So it's not easy to say that the European is the most important competition.
Yeah, no, you're right. It must be very difficult for an athlete now, because you before the Grand Prix it was just the Europeans or the Worlds, but now they have put so many important competitions out there for people.
Now, before you had to be like you would have one peak of the season. Yeah. Now you always have to be on top. Yeah. So it's really, really, really hard. And with a sports like this, with all of the contact, the diets and everything, it's not easy to plan the entire year. So it will be also a challenge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when you finally decide to stop competing, what will your life look like? Will Taekwondo still be a part of it, or will medicine take over?
I don't quite know yet, but I think that Taekwondo will be a part of Taekwondo for the rest of my life. I don't know how. Maybe just helping the next kids, being a doctor for the federation, maybe teaching at a little gym. Maybe I will take, 5 years of Taekwondo and then come back. But I think eventually Taekwondo will always be a part of my life. But after finishing Taekwondo, I want to use what I've learned. I want to learn even more about medicine and to start helping others.
Excellent. Yeah, that's really good to hear. Question that I always ask everyone.
Tell me then. But if I answer better than the others.
I'm sure you'll answer as good as the others.
Okay.
What makes Taekwondo different to other martial arts? And what do you feel it takes to be a black belt?
if we talk about the Olympic sport, I think it would be really easy in just saying that Taekwondo uses a lot of the footwork and the leg techniques, so that would be easy to separate from the other martial arts. But if you look at the entire martial art, I would say that in Taekwondo you can learn a little bit about everything, just not about being an athlete, about being about your well-being, but also being a person. So you can choose so many paths, being in combat, being in pumse, being just doing your physical activity using Taekwondo. So I don't think you would find that in every other martial arts.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So the last part of the question, what do you feel it takes to be a black belt?
It takes a lot of commitment. You need to embrace yourself and really learn from your experiences, because being a black belt is just not passing all of the time training. You also have to learn from what you train, from where you failed, and only then you will be able to arrive there. Because if you want just a black belt, you will never be a black belt. You can have it, but you won't be one.
That's a great answer. I think it could be the best.
I tried.
Okay. Well, that's the end of the interview now. So how can our listeners find out more about you and possibly get in touch with you?
So I have my Instagram and Twitter account, Rui Braganca, everything together. So Rui Braganca. You can also find me on Facebook, Rui Braganca, once again, and also my website, ruibraganca.com.
Excellent.
But I hope that you can write this so that everyone that is listening, so that they can read it and then they can write it also.
No problem. Yeah, I'll put the links in the website, and also the podcast as well.
Thank you very much.
So don't worry, they'll find you. Don't worry.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, we wish you all the best. We wish you all the best for tomorrow's competition, and we look forward to the results.
Thank you very much, and I wish you well, really, really well, with this podcast. I hope that you continue, and that you continue this help with taking Taekwondo to other persons.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Maybe we can have a conversation again sometime soon.
I hope for it.
Okay. You take care. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks, Rui.
Bye.
So if you'd like to hear more interviews about Taekwondo, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment on iTunes. And also, you can check out our website on www.focusontaekwondo.com for all the links and more information on the podcast.